Live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Joseph Morris live stream. If you're new here, nice to meet you. I am a speculation channel that engages in discussion about Gabby Petito case updates. So if that's not for you, this is a fair warning, but it is for you. Please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications so you never miss a video. I'm live here quite often, so would love to see you around. And so this is a discussion, a rumor, if you will, that hasn't been confirmed by any sort of outside authorities such as Pinterest, who would probably have the ability to confirm this. But there has been a rumor that's hitting a lot of news stations this morning. And I thought I would get ahead of the story and you would hear it here first, folks, on my channel. So if you want breaking news, again, hit the subscribe button. That really helps out my channel. But just to get right into it, we do have some, reports that his Instagram, his Pinterest is actually being updated. And I actually have some screenshots of his Pinterest from very, very early on. So let's get right into it. We have his Pinterest right here, and I'll just pull up the image right fast. Right here, we have an image of his Instagram from 3 weeks ago, 145 following. And then we have Pinterest, from yesterday, 146 following. So that is, breaking news. He did potentially follow a new account on Pinterest. So this would be very interesting. If Pinterest, if you're watching this, please notify me or the FBI if indeed he is updating his Pinterest and following people on his Pinterest. Would love to know that. Again, all speculation here, folks, but this has been, reported on a bunch of different sightings and different news sources. So I thought I would come on here and just discuss it and read your comments and see what you guys think, because we do know that he was Instagramming, on Instagram, he was like unfollowing people and following people and all this stuff. And it turns out on Instagram, if you're a private account, you can actually block people. And when you block people, they lose someone that they're following. So let's just say I'm following 10 people. One of those 10 people was private and that private person blocks me. I will look like I unfollowed them, but really they're just a private account and they blocked me. So I understand a lot of people are blocking Brian Laundrie because he is the only person of interest in the homicide of Gabby Petito. So I wouldn't want to follow him either, or him to follow me. So that guy would catch a block and he would lose somebody he's following. So there's a lot of allegations online that he's potentially using a burner phone. Okay. His attorney, Stephen Bertolino, who we will get to in a bit because we tracked down his WhatsApp and his profile photo is hilarious. Stephen Bertolino went on record to say that after Brian Laundrie returned home from his cross-American trip without Gabby Petito in tow, his family immediately on September 4th, which is 3 days after returning home, bought him a new phone from an AT&T Northport, Florida store. Keep that in mind, AT&T Northport, Florida store. The FBI has seized that surveillance video. So he is, they are watching you. The Laundrie family, the dirty Laundries, if you're watching this, crazier things have happened. We're watching every step you're taking right now. And we hope that AT&T surveillance store shows that you were buying a burner phone. And why do I say that? Because we do have some evidence that Brian Laundrie is logging into his Gmail account. Yes, you heard that here first, okay? And this is the evidence I have. I looked hard and deep all morning for how to look into this, and I found it. And it's in my description below. This is very internet sleuths kind of stuff, and it's very fun. But let's get right into it. So there's a site. Woo! That's called a transition, folks. I'm new to live streaming, but I'm learning all these cool transitions. And so this is a site called something. Tools.epios.com. And on this site, you can look at potential, what are people doing with their Gmail, which is kind of a little sketchy. Don't recommend doing this to all your friends. It's a little stalkerish, but you can put someone's email in here and find out if they have been logging into their email. So when you do that, let's put in Brian Laundrie's email. I really hope I don't get in trouble, but this is his email. You can potentially add him to like Google phone and like try to call him. I haven't gone that far, but if you want to try for me, let me know how that goes. If you have any tips, again, send that to all my social media handles and my email on my about page, because I love reading your tips and I love reading your comments. So this is a speculation channel, and no tip is too small on my channel. So thank you so much for joining me. Please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell. Really helps out my channel a lot, trying to just grow my subscribers. I really thought it was just going to be me and my mom watching this, but there's a lot of people here right now, and I love that for us all over the world. Okay, let's get into it. Just solve the CAPTCHA. I am not a robot, and I'ma search up this right here. If this doesn't work, it worked this morning, I will be very upset. It says retrieve without notifying you. Oh, it worked. It worked. Okay, guys. This is his email. I'm going to read your comments in a bit. I'm tapped out right now, full transparency. So it says, this is his email, right? This is actually corroborated through his Pinterest, because his Pinterest has the same username. Name Brian Laundrie, last update. Okay, here's where it's interesting, and you can't actually see it, which is kind of annoying, but because there's like a logo. But the last update was 2021 10 October 15th 4:56:49. Okay, so Brian, if you're on the run, or what your parents have said, I'm concerned for his well-being because he left his phone and his wallet at home. I'm just going to move this over a little bit because I feel like maybe I'm getting cut off. There we go. How are you logging into your Gmail? That's what I want to know. How are you logging into your Gmail? This is confirmed that this is his username. This is his Pinterest. So you can see that his Pinterest here is probably his Gmail address too. This is just like, again, speculation floating around online. Could be true, could be false. But this is his Pinterest that, has been widely studied across the internet by various news sources. And then when we apply that username in for his Gmail, which is his confirmed Gmail, because I'll get to that in a sec if you actually want to dig a little deeper. His Gmail was last updated 4 days ago. So that is crazy that there is activity, according to Epios tools, that he has accessed his Gmail in the past 4 days. So, Brian, if you're watching this, please turn yourself in. We're all really, really tired of looking for you, and crazier things have happened. So, turn yourself in, bud. Game's up. Time's up. Your parents are suffering. There's all this media and speculation. So if you actually want, this is a really cool thing. I think it does all the work for me. But just to maybe corroborate the story a little bit better, because I do get in trouble for like not really validating my sources before I come on YouTube. But this guy, if you want to dig a little bit deeper into his social media, let me just get rid of myself. I don't think you guys need to watch me. But if you want to look at his Google account here, he has, this is his Google account. This is his validated Google account. He has a bunch of ratings here. So if we want to dig a little deeper, this isn't a troll account. A lot of people would probably be like, it's a troll account. Well, no, it's not, because this guy has been trolling as Brian Laundrie for, what is it? Look at these. Look at all these ratings. For 2 years? I don't think so. Something that's very interesting about his Google account here, he says something very interesting, and I think he's just kind of trolling here. He writes something about Mexico, if I can find it. Let's see. He's trying to be funny. He has a very peculiar sense of humor. Mexico. Okay. He writes here, I was born in Mexico, and I've never felt more at home than in the warm embrace of Pedro. My children were terrified of the hyper-realistic gorilla in blue cotton t-shirt. So let me just zoom in, because you guys are like, what are you talking about? I'm talking about his review from 2 years ago. he would probably be 21 around this time. So his review from 2 years ago was like kind of like this troll. He was born in New York. So I'm just trying to verify that this is indeed his Gmail account, and his Gmail was active 4 days ago. More on that in a bit, but very, very interesting. What's also I found very compelling about his reviews was that some of them were in Florida, yes, but there are a few that were in obviously New York, where he's from, but there are a few that was in North Carolina. And there's been a lot of sightings of Brian Laundrie in North Carolina. And a lot of people were kind of shook about this one because, there's also sightings of him in Mexico. And then he says he's in Mexico in this one review. Of course, he's just trolling, right? So take that with a grain of salt, but this is his account. And just to reiterate, if you're new here, his account has been active in the past 4 days. It has been active, according to this website, 2021, October 15th. So 4 days ago. And I just wanted to get ahead of the story because it's making huge headlines right now. By huge, I mean like a bunch of gossip rags are talking about it. And, here I am, full disclosure, I'm a discussion channel. I don't know if any of this is true, but you can look on it yourself and see this as very public information. So it has been active within the past week, which is crazy. So Brian, are you still alive? Yeah, we all think you're alive. And something that's interesting is the Carlton Reserve right now is actually been scaled back quite dramatically. It's still closed. It's not open to the public, but it's way scaled back. So we do know that yesterday there was a report, or actually 4 days ago, the New Yorker reported it, but it only made like massive headlines yesterday, where there was an Appalachian Trail hiker who looked a lot like Brian Laundrie and was actually ambushed in his hotel room in the Appalachian Trail area by plainclothes FBI officers. So it is good to know that, the only search isn't at the Florida Reserve, because listen, we all know he's not in there. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why, and I go through them and a lot of on my channel, but I think it's safe to say he's not on there, in my opinion, of course. Something else I just really, really, really wanted to bring up with you guys. Let me just check the chat messages right now to see where I'm at. Ooh, wow, there's a lot of people here. Again, crazy. It's not just me and my mom talking right now. Thank you so much for joining me. If you want to stay up to date on all my Gabby Petito discussions and speculations, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so you never miss a video. I'm joined here by my co-host, my new little corgi right here. She keeps me company. She's my emotional support animal. So again, don't send hate to anybody on my channel, because I want to keep it a very positive atmosphere where everybody can just like discuss things and like not be judged for it. So if it's not for you, there's a lot of other channels you can go to. I don't know if you guys know how YouTube works, but Control W works if it's not for you. So let's look at another little interesting tidbit of information, which I want to just get right into. We have this. And of course, me trying to be like a social justice kind of guy, I blocked out his email. But you can easily find his email online. It's like everywhere. And I don't think you can dox a fugitive using an email. But hey, here we are, talking about his email. If you actually look into his account recovery, I'm not going to run through it too much, but this is, if you want to try to have his account recovered, it brings you to this little page. All right. Very interesting to look at. Why is it interesting to look at? We just went through that this is indeed his email. We also need to look at where his recovery information is being sent to. Okay. This is where you're going to get chills if you're like me, if you're into sleuthing, because it says, get your TCT Alcatel TBD. Okay. What do we know about Alcatel? Alcatel is known to have burner phones. Jumping to a conclusion here. Full disclosure. We're jumping to conclusions. But did he potentially set up his Gmail to use a burner phone? I mean, crazier things have happened. So this is some research that a viewer actually sent to me, but take it with a grain of salt. It could go either way. But we do know that his Gmail has been active within the past 4 days, and that he is using an Alcatel to access his Gmail. It says Alcatel is a great burner phone as it comes with a camera as well, and you can have a memory card for extra space. So, you know, I'm not saying he's using a burner phone, but he did go to the Northport store, AT&T, to pick up a phone with Roberta before he went missing. So was it a burner phone? Steven Bertolino says it wasn't. However, we do have some information that his Gmail is potentially being accessed, as well as his Pinterest. So take it with a grain of salt. It could be eventually disproven. It could be real news. You know, the first few times I was on my channel, I was the one that actually kind of helped break the story about the neighbors and them going to Fort DeSoto. And I got reporters from Inside Edition telling me that that was a fake story. Turns out it wasn't a fake story. There was public records of them going to Fort DeSoto campground. So no stone is left unturned on this channel. Is it possible that he set up a burner phone to access his Gmail? That is the question of the day. Developing story. You know, don't have the answer just yet, but very interesting that he accessed his Gmail within the past 4 days, and his recovery phone for his Gmail account is Alcatel, which is also a big burner phone brand. So very, very peculiar. Also, did he use the $1,000 he took from Gabby Petito to buy a burner phone? You know, that's something else that someone basically brought up on my channel. So that is, I just wanted to get ahead of that story real fast because it is basically making headlines all over the world right now. You know, his Pinterest has been updated and his Gmail has been accessed. So I just wanted to come on here and talk about like why everybody's talking about that and just get ahead of the story. So thank you so much for joining me. Please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications so you never miss a video. And yesterday, my co-host is like, really wants attention. She needs a walk, so she's just gonna hang out with me for a bit and suffer a little bit for the camera. So something that went viral yesterday was that sighting of him in Ocala, Florida. And again, everybody's like, it's not him, Joe, you're doing fake news. Well, my friends, it has also made international news this morning, and you heard it here first. I don't know if people are copying me, but this is, we did get the footage of the Ocala sighting. And this was something that was on my channel. And I was like, I tried reaching the guy. He wouldn't give me the footage of the sighting. Well, he gave TMZ the footage of the sighting. I guess TMZ, you know, bought it from him possibly. But here is a footage of the sighting, folks. Very interesting to watch. So again, this is taken from very far away. People are like, oh, it's too far. Well, it's a security camera footage. The guy basically said he was, you know, acting very suspicious. It really stood out to him because this is not a bike path. And he's doing like what appears to be a wheelie. And people were just kind of like laughing because it was very, very funny to see him basically ride a bike. You know, I'm not a huge cyclist, but I know I could probably ride a bike better than that. But he does have a big backpack, so I'll give him a little bit of leeway. But someone did basically slow down the footage, and it looks almost like he has a out-toed walk. So let me just play this footage right here for you. So thank you so much to this social media person who sent this in to me. But if you stop right there, it does look like, you know, this is something that we couldn't actually see in my original report because I didn't have the video. The video was just released this morning. So welcome to this brand new breaking news channel. So it does look like here he has an out-toed walk. And what's very frustrating about this one sighting was like he, you know, could have cracked the case wide open if he just filmed it just like another 2 minutes longer. Like if it was just another a minute longer, we could potentially see if he does indeed have an out-toed walk, because that is something that is very defining about him. And this is also something that I really wanted to point out here. And this is kind of like my own speculation, But like, if you look at his hand, I honestly really do see some markings there, like a tattoo. Like, out of all the sightings, this is probably the one that I feel like is the most like realistic. This one and Dennis the hiker, just because Dennis was an engineer and his hiker encounter was very, sounded a lot like Brian. So it does look like he has a tattoo here. And I just want to kind of pull out that, it does look like he is kind of walking with an out toed here. And so I'm really convinced by this, honestly. I'm very convinced. So it does look like he has kind of like his toes point outwards. Now, crazier things have happened. Could this be debunked in a couple days? Yes, it could be. But is he out on the bikes in Ocala, Florida? People are going to roast me for how I pronounce this. Ocala, Florida. And, using a burner phone to have, access. Something that is kind of interesting again. And I'll just get right into how this is kind of how he walks. And I just want to just jump on here really quick and just talk about how he walks, because he does walk like this. And when I look at that bike video, I do actually see this sort of out-toed walk. So is it him? Is it not him? Still up for discussion. Welcome to my channel. And something that someone brought up on my last live was this woman named Brittany. And I just want to cover this real fast because it is kind of like, is this lady crazy? I think she may be. Not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but basically, this lady says that she wanted her mother to be, according to a friend of Roberta. Roberta says that she didn't like Gabby at all. She did not like Gabby, according to this woman who says she's friends with Roberta. And I just want to pull this up real fast, not give this like too much attention. But basically this alleged friend of Roberta Laundrie says that Roberta didn't like Gabby Petito. And this alleged friend of Roberta Laundrie also said that Roberta Laundrie would rather her be friends, be dating Brian Laundrie, her daughter be dating. So it says here, my daughter has been friends with Roberta and the Laundrie family since she and Roberta worked together. They remained friends after Laundrie's moved to Florida years ago. Roberta adored my daughter so much. She wanted my daughter and Brian to get together. My daughter felt he was just too young for her, as he was around 19 and she was turning 30. Okay, so this is like, again, making headlines. Martha Nasser says her daughter wanted to, Roberta, this is very confusing. Roberta wanted her daughter to be with Brian and not Gabby, because Roberta, alleged by Martha, said that Gabby was unstable and didn't want to be with her. So not true, but she goes, life went on. Eventually, Roberta began expressing to my daughter that there were just too many problems with Gabby. Not having gainful employment, sleeping all day, drinking, smoking herb, not being grateful for meals, not helping around the house. My daughter tried being supportive of Roberta, working on having patience and understanding with Gabby. Roberta seemed relieved for a little break when they began their van life adventure this past June. So again, this friend of Roberta allegedly says that Roberta never liked Gabby and that Roberta would rather see Brian with her daughter as opposed to Gabby, because Roberta didn't like Gabby because she was like a freeloader, didn't pay rent. Something that's interesting was that Gabby and Brian lived in a condo together that was paid for by the Laundrie family. This is all like breaking news again, more on that story as things start developing. But a lot of the reports say that Gabby and Brian lived in that Laundrie family residence. However, there are new reports saying that they didn't and they lived in a condo together. So I'm not going to get right too much into this, but This post was eventually deleted by Martha Nassar. Do not send hate to anybody on my channel, but this was basically what she wrote, and said that, basically dragged Gabby's name through the mud and said that Roberta didn't even like Gabby, which is a terrible thing to say. I don't think I'm explaining the story that well, but I'm hoping you guys get the gist of it. And something that's kind of interesting on this story too was Brittany, who is the daughter that allegedly Roberta wanted Brian to be with, basically corroborated Martha's story and said that this is true. And this post is still up. You can actually go on Facebook and find this post because she is not deleting it. This is the hill she wants to die on, that Gabby was an awful girlfriend to Brian, and this person, Brittany Ann, Roberta wanted Brian to be with Brittany. So this is just like crazy talk right here, but she writes, okay, this is what Brittany writes. What I do believe is that Gabby had a laundry list of mental health issues, financial irresponsibilities, and other issues, and Brian and his family have been so supportive through the years. She lived in their home rent-free, both with the sister of Brian and with the parents at different times. I spoke with Roberta at length about some of the situations that had occurred in the house while they were all living together. It did not sound easy. The fact that people are saying Brian stole her van and used her card when I know he poured in so much of his savings for her to live her dream and to try and make her happy is heartbreaking. He's being treated like the scum of the earth, and how his parents are being treated like the parents of the scum of the earth because they're trying to do the right thing and protect him, and anyone who thinks they wouldn't do whatever they could for their child doesn't deserve okay, I'm just going to end it there. But basically, these two people are dragging Gabby's name through the mud and saying that Gabby was a bad girlfriend and that Brian should have been with Brittany. And this is Roberta also saying this too, that Roberta never liked Gabby and would rather see his son with Brittany. So that is the tea of the morning. I don't want to spend too much on that because it is very triggering. I don't believe this for a second, that Gabby, what they're saying is true. And a lot of you guys had a lot to say about it too. And I'll just read what some of the comments were. I have Karen right here writing, Gabby is the one that had the job, bought and owned the van, had the account with a minimum $1,000 in them, while Brian is the alleged murderer who stole her van, stole her money after she was dead, and is a fugitive wanted by the FBI. Gabby was the problem? Yeah, real nice guy is what they wrote. And of course, I was completely on the wrong tab, but let me just give a shout out to the lady who wrote this, Karen Injby wrote that on my Twitter. And I thought that really captured how I felt about the situation, because I don't think Gabby was the problem here. As we all know, Brian was, because Brian was the only person of interest in a homicide. So this whole Brittany and Coleman stuff, yeah, not my cup of tea, but someone did ask me on the other day to just give a little segment to this. That Roberta allegedly never liked Gabby, and that there's rumors about Gabby, circulating online. And I just kind of wanted to get ahead of that and say, I don't believe those rumors for a second. I definitely think the only problematic person right now in this whole plot is Brian, because Brian is the person of interest in a homicide, as well as on the run right now, not turning themselves in. And I just want to add, the Laundrie family is still not talking to the public, not getting any information about their son. And this is actually breaking news from this morning. The Laundrie family went to Walmart. Yeah, I don't know. This is just breaking news, apparently. Let's get right into it. And I'll read your comments as we watch this video.
Is your son still alive? Have you been in contact with him? Where do you think he is? Is he really in that park? Did he really go to the park? Did you help him get to the park or out of the park?
Yeah, so I'm just like reading your comments. It's so great to see there's like 4,800 people here watching a little old me. And I'm getting like breaking news on my phone. I'm just kind of like, so, oh my God, guys, this is breaking. The park is back open to the public. So the Florida Reserve, this is breaking. You heard it here first on Joseph Morris live stream. The park is back open to the public, which is insane. Insane. Honestly, to me, that's insane, and it gives me chills because this is the one area we spent $1.6 million of American taxpayer money to fund this search that has been going on for 6 weeks now, almost 6 weeks, probably longer. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. $1.6 million. Nothing has been found, despite CNN saying that there was a campsite found. CNN, you lied to me. I did an entire video about how there was a campsite found, only to find out that there was no campsite found. The Northport police corroborated that story, that there was nothing found in the Florida Reserve. And I just got this right in. This is breaking news. You heard it here first here, folks. It says, Northport Parks and Recreation, the Miakathatchee Creek Environmental Park is now reopened to the public. Yeah. So again, why do I not think Brian Laundrie is in that Florida Reserve? And I'll say it again, because I think this is crazy that we were even there. I think the Mustang planted at the Miakathatchee or whatever, Florida Reserve, Carlton Reserve, was a red herring by the Laundrie family. The Laundrie family said that Brian Laundrie went hiking September 13th. They said that they only picked up his Mustang on September 17th. Here's the kicker, they only reported him missing on September 17th. So your son, who came back home without your soon-to-be daughter-in-law, goes on a Mustang ride to a Florida Reserve. You don't stop him. I mean, he's under your surveillance. And you only report him missing 4 days after. Something just doesn't add up. That's the reason why I thought this entire thing was really messed up. And it's also very interesting to note that they got the dates wrong and their story changed on the day he was hiking. They originally said September 14th, reported that all over my channel. I had to basically do corrections corner on my channel. Said it was September 13th. So they got the dates wrong. They got caught in a lie. Their lawyer, Stephen Bertolino, is in my photo right here, because the really funny thing is, if you add his number to WhatsApp, you get a really ridiculous photo of him where he's like all like thugged out. This is their lawyer. Like, there you go. If you add him on WhatsApp, that's what he looks like. He's a very peculiar kind of guy, because if you actually ask him any questions as a reporter, he'll reply back to you, "Don't be silly. Don't be silly." It's really funny. Not saying that he's anything to be happy about. I think he is a real estate lawyer. It is his first time as a criminal lawyer, and he's representing Brian Laundrie and the parents. Again, why would you need a lawyer if your son is allegedly, as you guys like to say, possibly dead? Dead people don't need lawyers. We smell a rat on this channel. Brian Laundrie, if you're out there, turn yourself in. If you're watching on your burner phone in Ocala, Florida, taking a break from your trip, please turn yourself in. Do not follow any more people on Pinterest. Just call the FBI, say it's you. Let's get it over with. I'm done. I want to see justice for Gabby. So something that is also very interesting about this case, there has been a lot of sightings about Brian Laundrie. And this one in particular just came out. And I'm just going to get ahead of the story again and say this is debunked. This one is from Pennsylvania. It's another Brian Laundrie sighting. So unless Brian Laundrie had a Bowflex in the Carlton Reserve, this ain't him. This guy is way too jacked to be Brian Laundrie. I can see why, oh, he's bald guy with a beard. I mean, to be honest, I will not be hiking the Appalachian Trail anytime soon. I do not want a bunch of law enforcement, plainclothes police officers ambushing me. I feel like you can mistake me for Brian Laundrie. But like, I look more like Brian Laundrie than this guy does. This guy is like jacked. This guy's like beefy. I don't think this is him at all. So again, this is another tip submitted to me through social media. If you have any tips you would like to send me, first report it to the FBI.gov/Petito. And then if you really want to, and you want to be more attention, please send it to me. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me on my live stream. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and yeah, hang out with me and my co-hosts. I really appreciate that. It's not him. No, you're handsome. Joseph, you look like Brian a lot. I get that a lot. You know, bald white guy with a beard. Yeah, it's not me. I can get into, like, imagine that was the big twist of this entire channel. It was like, I'm Brian Laundrie and I turn myself in. That'd be amazing. Something that's very interesting about Christopher Laundrie, and this is some other tea I have for you. People get really mad when I call it tea, but here we are. If you don't like it. There's a lawsuit against Christopher Laundrie. Ooh, thank you so much. Buttercup writes, firstly, Brian has tried to deceive everyone from the beginning, sending the text about Yosemite. Secondly, his dad was rolling boxes of food on cam. Ooh, I'll have to look at that. Secondly, his dad, thank you, Buttercup. Secondly, his dad was rolling boxes of food on cam. Interesting. Thank you for that. Tammy Arrowwood, you didn't have to, but you did. I really appreciate all the positive support on my channel. Really was only expecting to cam up and just like have one person here. So the fact that there's like 5,000 people watching me is crazy. And I really love that you guys want to hang out and have a discussion. But Christopher Laundrie is served with a lawsuit. Yes, he is served with a lawsuit for stealing a sign on his front lawn. So this is what I don't understand. Basically, he's getting served a lawsuit because he stole that "What if it was Cassie" sign. And I also have a little corrections corner because I kind of assume that, oh, what if it was Cassie meant, what if it was Cassie that was a person of interest in the homicide of Gabby Petito? No. What it meant was, what if it was Cassie who was lost? And I got that completely wrong. But this is a sign that he stole from the front lawn that he's now having a lawsuit over, which I think is hilarious. So this is the sign right here. What if it was Cassie? He did not like that, obviously, and basically came out on the front lawn and stole that sign from the front lawn. You can see it right here. It's the picture of the year, honestly. It should be a meme or meme, as the kids say. I think it's called meme. But that's him stealing a sign, and that's the lawsuit that is now taking place. Ooh, thank you so much, Angie White. Love your channel. Wow, guys. I feel the love. I feel love. I feel love. I don't know how the song goes. But it's that really old, like, 70s song by... I'm not even going to pretend. I feel love. Okay, I'm going to have to Google that. What am I talking about? I feel love. Donna Summer, that's it. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate that. Yeah. So as for any other updates, I don't have a lot of updates other than potentially getting the head of story with, the potential burner phone. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. If you never want to miss a live stream, just let me know. You can subscribe. Subscribe is what I meant to say. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. And I'm just going to really check if there's any more updates on this case. But I just wanted to come on here and just get ahead of the story. And I look forward to reading all your comments about if you think the burner phone is true or not. But let me just kind of see if there's any sort of updates. So basically, yeah, the Carlton Reserve is back open to the public, and the Laundrie family is being, watched by Walmart. Oh, thank you so much for all the. Everyone here needs to be respectful of you and this channel. No hate, please. Rude comments are so immature. Unless you're a child or just mean, this man is doing a great job, better than others. I really appreciate that, guys. Yeah, thank you so much, Phyllis Pendergrass. Yeah, I'm a big speculation channel. And I like to have a bunch of discussions about the Gabby Petito case. When this case starts dying down, obviously I'll still keep you updated, but I do discuss a lot of other cases on this channel. So I love discussions and I love theories and I love speculation. So being gangster, that's what my channel is all about. So thank you so much. Do I have Instagram? Yeah, I do have Instagram. Okay, so someone asked, why are people trespassing on his property? That's a really good question. Apparently the sign was not on his property, according to the lawsuit. It was on the encampment. I don't know what you call it in the States, but apparently this wasn't on his property. So he took it from his property. From not his property, according to the lawsuit. I don't know how true that is. I have a feeling this is going to be thrown out in court. So I'm not too sure about how this is actually going to hold up in court. Brian needs to turn himself in. Yeah, I agree. Brian needs to turn himself in. I want to see some justice for Gabby and see this all come to a close, so that we can all move on and hopefully get some closure. And just remember Gabby Petito for the amazing person that she was. So something that is very interesting about how to find Brian Laundrie. I just want to get this information out there. I say this a lot on my channel, but what's very frustrating about this case is that I hate people trying to pick apart Gabby. She was never perfect. She was a sweet, adventurous, and loyal lady. She had her flaws, as we all do. Thank you so much for that super chat, Donna Lee Loomis. Really appreciate that. That's very true. I mean, anybody can basically hold a magnifying glass to anyone and find flaws, right? I'm not perfect either. So just the idea that people are so negative about somebody that is, doesn't have justice right now is very concerning. And I just wanted to come on my channel and talk about Brittany a little bit. Thank you so much. Wow. You guys do not. First of all, you are beautiful. Thank you, Cecilia and Mina. Second, Brian has a huge nose. Third, your dog's name should be Daisy May. And last, there is a 3-foot area that belongs to the city next to the street. Thank you. That is what it's called. So I'm Canadian. So I don't know too much about American laws, but apparently, yeah, the 3-foot area was where they're hiding the signs. So it wasn't his property. So maybe there is some, that could be used against him in court. So again, we saw them this morning just acting like nothing happened and going to Walmart, which is very frustrating as somebody that wants justice for Gabby, because they should be talking to the public. Cyrus Gonzalez, thank you so much for that super chat. Really appreciate it. We are kind of sitting here looking at little nuggets of information, and from those nuggets of information, trying to extrapolate more information from it. And something that is very frustrating about this case is the fact that the Laundrie family aren't really talking and aren't really, making any sort of statements about how we can potentially find Brian Laundrie. I mean, Christopher Laundrie, as we all know, joined the search pretty late on. Prior to joining the search, he hunkered down in his residence with the blinds closed, ordered Uber Eats, wouldn't leave. The grass was growing, they were out back gardening. I just want to ask, if your son was missing, would you just be eating Uber Eats and having Dunkin' Donuts? No, you'd be out there looking for him. It was only until he was asked by the FBI to look for his son in the Carlton Reserve that he spent 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever, something under 4 hours looking for his son. I mean, to me, it's I just don't think someone that actually knows if their son is missing would necessarily be out in the Carlton Reserve only when asked for 4 hours. Absolutely crazy, to just kind of put that into perspective. Really appreciate all the super chats. And something that I really, again, with the nuggets of information, we have a nugget of information right here about his best friend. Again, this has been making headlines this morning. And it kind of gives a little insight into Brian Laundrie and his psyche. So the best friend or a friend writes, he never came across as the kind of person that would be the killing type, but he did have that tendency to be. I don't want to say the wrong thing and make him sound worse than he already is. He was a kind of guy who would get angry pretty quick. I remember from back then, he was a big yoga nut, always telling me I gotta worry about my Zen, and I thought he was the weirdo. He would come over and do the boyfriend thing, put his arm around her, give her a kiss, very possessive. He was a good employee who knew how to talk to people. He knew how to make people like him. He knew how to make people happy, and he knew how to make people buy the product that we had. He had the same kind of air you would be taught if you worked at a dealership. Gabby, she was also a sweetheart, very peaceful. She was always really nice to me, and she was really outgoing. Once I realized that the person who was missing was somebody I actually knew, it hit me like a tidal wave. I think the only reason why she settled for him is he wanted to travel. So again, picking up little nuggets of information from this, we do see Brian Laundrie, as we saw from the body cam footage, to be very manipulative and almost very Chris Watts. I don't know if you guys have seen the Netflix documentary or are familiar with the case, but Chris Watts is somebody else that was trying to be really like friendly and cooperative with the police and try to really get them on his side. And I thought that was very similar to how Brian Laundrie behaved. You know, we saw Brian Laundrie basically try to be friends with the cops, and he was very manipulative and basically gaslit the situation in the body cam footage, where, you know, they were on his side and he was painted out to be like the victim. So the best friend statement, which basically this isn't a best friend, it was a coworker, and this was broken to Fox News Digital, who actually corroborated the story, so this is real. He did in fact work with this guy. The guy that worked with him said that, you know, he was very manipulative and came off across as possessive. And so you know, if he is out there, just please keep your distance and stay safe. Again, report all your ability to, you know, see him to the FBI.gov/Petito, and just be on the lookout for his tattoos. We do have his tattoos right here, where you can see that he, you know, has these very discernible tattoos. And we want to kind of look at this right here. So again, he has 2 tattoos on his right hand, and he also has these ears that are very pointy. And if you see him, please be safe. Please keep your distance and be safe out there. Thank you so much for joining my live stream. I see there's people dropping off, and I think I covered everything I needed to cover. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me here. This is a breaking news story, so if you want to stay up to date on breaking news, please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notification. Really helps out my channel. Thank you so much for all my super chats. I can tell this one, my little co-host, wants to go out for a walk. So until next time, folks, thank you so much again for hanging out with me, and I look forward to reading all your comments. All right. I think Joseph is Brian. Spock ears, someone wrote. Nona writes that. Jamie Jones, his coworker, yes, described all the traits of a narcissist. Joshua Bradford writes, I see dead people. Good live stream, Mimi writes. Oh, yes, and thank you so much to all my mods for keeping this a really safe and fun place. Thank you so much, Rachelyn, with the dog again. Really appreciate that. Mary Dipper. Bye, Mary. Gabby, wake up. Let's find BL. Yes. Where are you from? Kari. Yeah. Let your co-host speak. Okay. You know what's so funny? This morning I woke her up and she wanted to play, and then I started playing with her, and she squealed. She like squealed. She never talks. She's very quiet. She never talks. But yeah, she gets a little camera shy. Yeah, Alex gets really camera shy. Daisy May. Aww, Daisy May. She's so cuddly. All right, guys. Until next time, really appreciate everybody hanging out with here. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to hanging out with you guys very shortly. I'm going to take Daisy May for a walk, and I love you guys all.